In this video, we're back at Hoboken Terminal in New Jersey, just outside of Manhattan. One of the only places around the New York City area to see classic EMD power like Metro North's F40PH-3C and GP40FH-2 locomotives. In fact, most other railroads around the country are retiring their older mode of power for newer technology. But here in New Jersey, there's still plenty of time to see them because there's no plans to retire them in sight. In this video, we will be checking out both aforementioned locomotives and going over their specifications. Going right into it, here's some history on the F40PH-3C locomotives. Metro North first obtained used F40 locomotives from Amtrak back when they retired their F40s in favor of new P42 Genesis locomotives, and from New Jersey Transit when they retired theirs in favor of new ALP45DP locomotives back in the early 2010s. Metro North currently operates a fleet of 8 of these locomotives, with 4 being built from Amtrak F40PHRs and 4 being rebuilt from NJT F40PH-2 cats, these being numbered 4907 to 4914. In fact, we're going to see both remaining NJT F40-2 cat units, and I'll explain the differences shortly. But first, what exactly does F40PH-3C mean? F stands for full cowl body, 40 for 40 series locomotive, P for passenger gearing, H for head-end power, -3 for -3 electronics, and the C designates that it's equipped with a Cummins head-end power generator. These are operated on Metro North's west of Hudson routes, consisting of the Passac Valley and Port Jervis lines. NJT and Metro North operate service on these lines jointly under contract, since most trackage is in New Jersey but ends in New York. This will sometimes result in equipment pooling by both railroads, so it's not uncommon to see Metro North pulling NJT equipment and vice versa. You may also notice that the car body extends all the way to the back of the frame, whereas original F40s had a rear porch. This is due to the fact that these locomotives had their bodies extended to accommodate the Cummins head-end power generator behind the prime mover when being rebuilt for Metro North. This was because, as I'm sure some of you know, original F40s were nicknamed Screamers due to the fact that their prime mover must operate at around 900 RPM to produce the 60 Hz needed, even when stationary in order to provide head-end power. Not only did this sound like the locomotive was going 60 miles an hour when idling, but it also was not fuel efficient and it put more strain on the locomotive. This made installing a separate head-end power generator all the more appealing as time went on and technology advanced. And it also freed up horsepower from the prime mover since it would only be providing 2200 horsepower with head-end power engaged, and utilizing a separate generator allows the prime mover to operate at full capacity. Visual differences from original F40s other than the extended body include an extra roof-mounted exhaust fan and separate exhaust outlet from the Cummins HEP generator. Just sitting here at the station you can see the generator is under load, whereas the prime mover is able to idle at a lower RPM with less noise and exhaust. Speaking of which, here are some technical facts about the F40PH-3C locomotives. They utilize a 16-cylinder EMD 645E3 prime mover producing 3,000 horsepower with 65,000 pounds tractive effort. These locomotives are very similar to the GP40 freight locomotive, in the sense that they are essentially a GP40 freight locomotive with a full-width cowl body, however designed specifically for passenger use. It's the same story for NJT's GP40PH-2 locomotives, and I've done a previous video on those, so feel free to check that one out as well. Here we see both of New Jersey Transit's remaining F40PH-2 cat locomotives. NJT ordered 17 of these units brand new as regular F40PHs, but since had them upgraded to -2 electronics with an added cat generator, therefore the 2 cat designation. These are the last remaining units that haven't been either retired or scrapped, being used for both work and passenger service. Sometimes you can find them both here, and they are numbered 4119 and 4120. And now enough of me talking. Time to roll some clips on some F40s departing Hoboken. that we've discussed the F40PH-3C, we can transition to the GP40FH-2. These locomotives are a mix of the F40PH and GP40 in the sense that they are basically a GP40 with a full-width cowl body from an F45, and they were also lengthened 3 feet 6 inches to accommodate the head-end power generator, just like New Jersey Transit's GP40PH-2s. Metro-North was looking to replace older equipment in the 1980s, when they placed an order for 6 GP40FH-2 locomotives. These were rebuilt from freight locomotives by Morris & Knudsen in 1987 through 1990. As far as naming designation goes, the GP stands for General Purpose, 40 for 40 Series Locomotive, F for Full-Width Cowl Body, H for Head-End Power, and -2 for Rebuilt with -2 Electronics. They are mechanically identical to their GP40 counterparts with a 16-cylinder EMD 645E3 prime mover with 3,000 horsepower, but has 72,000 pound tractive effort. It's worth noting that New Jersey Transit ordered 15 of these locomotives around the same time as Metro-North, but have all since been retired since the delivery of ALP45DP locomotives, which is also in my previous video of NJT's GP40PH-2s. All 6 of Metro-North locomotives still remain in service to this day. And just like we saw on F40PH-3C locomotives, there is an extra exhaust stack and fan at the back of the long hood, indicating the presence of the head-end power generator. The fact that these locomotives are so unique is what makes them so interesting to see, and hopefully we'll still be able to see these workhorses on the rails of New Jersey and New York for years to come. However, with Siemens Charger locomotives coming from Metro-North on the other side of the Hudson, we'll see what the future holds. And that's going to do it for today. I want to thank everyone for watching this video. This was my first time at Hoboken Terminal, and I know that this is not necessarily groundbreaking information, but it was still fun for me to go and see these locomotives in person for the first time. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up or drop a comment down below. All feedback is appreciated. Or perhaps please consider subscribing. Thanks so much, and I'll see you all next time.